Hello everyone, this is Payal Vaja. Welcome to Pharma Desert. In this video, we will discuss about disinfection part 1. So let's get started. These are the list of contents we will discuss in this video. First one is terminology, various terminologies. Second one is introduction of disinfectants. Next one, classification of disinfectants, mode of action of disinfectants, and factors affecting disinfection. First one, terminologies. Which type of terminologies are used for disinfection purpose? First one is sepsis. What is sepsis? Bacterial contamination that are also called as sepsis. Asepsis, that means the absence of significant contamination. Antisepsis, that means chemical destruction of vegetative pathogen on living tissue. And sanitization, that means lowering microbial counts on eating and drinking utensils to safe level. So first one, sepsis, that means bacterial contamination, while asepsis, that means absence of significant contamination, while antisepsis, that means chemical destruction of any vegetative pathogen that are present on living tissue. And last one is sanitization, that means lowering microbial counts or reducing the microbial counts on eating and drinking utensils for safety level. Next one is bactericidal, that means chemical agents that are capable of killing the bacteria. So bactericidal, that means chemical agents that are capable for kill the bacteria, while virucidal, that means chemicals that are capable of kill the virus. Fungicidal, that means chemical that are capable of kill the fungi, while sporicidal, that means chemical agent that are capable of killing the spores. In bacteriostatic, that means chemical agent they not killing the bacteria but that inhibit the growth of bacteria, that are called as bacteriostatic. Next one is the introduction of disinfectants. What is disinfectants and what is the process of disinfection? Disinfection is the process of destruction or removal of microorganisms and reducing them to the level not harmful to the health. So what is the disinfection? Disinfection, that is the one type of process. In this process, destruction or removal of microorganism, otherwise reducing the microorganism at that level that are not harmful to the human beings. And disinfection generally kills the sensitive vegetative cells but not heat resistant endospore. So disinfectant or disinfection they kills only sensitive vegetative cells but they doesn't kill heat resistant endospores or any pathogen. If the object that is a lifeless such as working area, dishes, benches, etc., the chemical agent that is known as disinfectant. So disinfectant that are applied on non-living tissue to remove the microorganism that are present on the non-living tissue. However, if the object is animated or living, such as human body, or a tissue, chemical that is the antiseptic. So what was the difference between antiseptic and disinfectant? So disinfectant that are applied on non-living tissues or non-living body, while antiseptic that is applied on living body. Disinfectants are usually bactericidal, but occasionally they may be bacteriostatic. So disinfectant that are act as a bactericidal. That means they kill the bacteria, but occasionally or sometimes that are act as a bacteriostatic. That means they resist the growth of bacteria. Next one is characteristics of ideal disinfectants. So ideal disinfectants, or what was the characteristic of ideal or proper disinfectants? So characteristics like broad spectrum disinfectant. What was the meaning of broad spectrum disinfectant? Broad spectrum, that means they kill wide range of bacteria or wide range of bacterial species or microorganisms. It should be non-toxic and disinfectant. They are fast acting. It is odorless as well as surface compatibility, and they are economic or low cost, and they are easy to use. So all are the characteristic of ideal disinfectants. So what was the characteristic of ideal disinfectant? First one is that have a broad spectrum, so they kill the maximum bacteria. They are non-toxic in nature. They are fast acting as well as they are odorless and surface compatibility. They are economic or very low cost. They are inexpensive, and last one easy to use. So they are easily used. Solubility as well as miscibility with any solutions, not affected by physical factors. So disinfectant that are not affected by any physical parameters like environmental parameters like temperature, pH, and stable on the storage. Next one is classification of disinfectant. The chemical agents that are classified as follows. So chemical agents, various classes are present. First one is acid and alkali. Next one is halogen. Next one is heavy metals, phenol and its derivatives, alcohols, aldehydes, quaternary ammonium compounds, dyes, detergents and soaps. We will discuss one by one. First one is acid and alkalis. Generally, strong acid and alkali kill the bacteria, but weak organic acid they inhibit their growth. So, what was the role of acid and alkali? So, generally, strong acid or strong alkali they kill the bacteria, but if weak acid that is present, so they inhibit the growth of bacteria. So strong acid and alkali that are act as a bactericidal, while weak acid that are act as a bacteriostatic. Next one, halogens. In halogens, chlorine, fluorine, bromine and iodine in the free states as well as their compounds strongly act as germicidal. So examples of halogen atom are chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine. All are act as halogens in free state as well as their compounds that are strongly act as germicidal. So if the halogens that are free in nature as well as if they are present in any compound form that are act as germicidal, that means they are used for completely kill all the germs. Next one is heavy metals. The most widely used heavy metals are those of mercury, silver and copper. So heavy metals, mercury, silver, copper, all are act as a heavy metals. In heavy metals and their compounds act as antimicrobially by combining with cellular protein. So heavy metals and their compounds that are act as a antimicrobial agent or that are work as a antimicrobial. How they are work as antimicrobial? By combining with their cellular proteins. So heavy metals as well as their compounds that are bind with its cellular protein and that are act as an antimicrobial agent and that provide antimicrobial effect. High concentration of salt of heavy metals like mercury, copper and silver coagulates cytoplasmic proteins, resulting in the damage or death of the cell. So if you are using high concentration of salt of heavy metals like high concentration salt of mercury, copper and silver coagulate cytoplasmic protein that are resulting in damage of cell. So heavy metals example is mercury, silver and copper. All are act as a heavy metals. While heavy metals and its compound that are bind with its cellular protein and that is act as an antimicrobial agent and they provide antimicrobial effect. If you are using higher concentration of salt of heavy metal like mercury, copper as well as silver coagulate cytoplasmic protein. So if you are using higher concentration of salt of heavy metals that resulting in damage or death of the cell. Next one is phenol and its derivative. Phenol is the chief product that are obtained by distillation of coal tar, while phenol 1% has bactericidal action and many derivatives of phenol that are more effective and less costly. So phenol and its derivative. Phenol that is the chief product and how it is obtained. So it is obtained by distillation of coal tar colors. Phenol 1% concentration that are act as a bactericidal and 1% concentration of phenol that give bactericidal action. That means bactericidal means kill the bacteria and many derivatives of phenol that are more effective as well as that are less costly. So phenol that is the chief product that is obtained by distillation of coal tar dyes and if you are using 1% phenol that have a bactericidal action and many derivative of phenol that are more effective and that are less costly. Next one is alcohol. Alcohols have a fairly rapid bactericidal action against vegetative bacteria when diluted to the concentration of 60 to 70% volume by volume with water. So alcohols that have a rapid bactericidal action against vegetative bacteria when it is diluted to the concentration of 60 to 70% volume by volume with water, while ethanol 60 to 70% volume by volume and isopropanol that is about 50 to 60% volume by volume that are used as skin disinfectants, while methanol vapor has been used as fungicide. So what was the role of alcohol as a disinfectant? Alcohol that have a rapid bactericidal action. That means that they kill the bacteria properly against any vegetative bacteria. How alcohol they act as a bactericidal action against any vegetative bacteria? When they are diluted to the concentration of 60 to 70% volume by volume with the help of water. So if the alcohol they are diluted to 60 to 70% volume by volume with water that are act as a bactericidal action, they provide bactericidal action. And if you are taking ethanol 60 to 70% volume by volume and if you are taking isopropanol 50 to 60% volume by volume, both are act as a skin disinfectant, while methanol vapor that has been used as a fungicidal. So methanol vapor they kill the fungi. The higher alcohol are more germicidal than ethyl alcohol and alcohol are used as preservative in some vaccines. So higher alcohol like propyl alcohol, butyl and amyl alcohol all are more germicidal than ethyl alcohol. So propyl alcohol, butyl alcohol and amyl alcohol that have a higher germicidal action, so they kill the germs properly than the ethyl alcohol. And alcohols are used as preservatives in some vaccines. Next one is aldehyde. Formaldehyde, that is the HCHO, is the main aldehyde that are used for disinfection, and formaldehyde in solution is useful for sterilization of certain instruments. So in aldehyde, or structure of formula of aldehyde, that is HCHO, and is the main aldehyde that is most widely used for disinfection. So formaldehyde acts as a disinfectant, and formaldehyde, if that is present in solution form, that are useful for sterilization of certain instruments or equipments. Next one is quaternary ammonium compound. What is the role of quaternary ammonium compound? Quaternary ammonium compounds that are widely used for the control of microorganisms on the floors, walls, nursing homes and other public places. So quaternary ammonium compound that are most widely used for the control of microorganisms that are present on floor as well as that are present on walls, nursing homes and any public place. They are also used as skin antiseptic and that are act as a sanitizing agent in dairy, eggs and fishing industry. So quaternary ammonium compound that are used as skin antiseptic as well as that are used as sanitizing agent in dairy, egg and fishing industry. So quaternary ammonium compound that are widely used. So what was the role of quaternary ammonium compound that are most widely used for control of microorganisms that are present on any floors, walls, nursing home or any public place. So if the microorganisms are present on floor, wall or any public place that are widely controlled or properly controlled with the help of quaternary ammonium compounds, while quaternary ammonium compound that are act as a skin antiseptic as well as that are act as a sanitizing agent in dairy, eggs and fishing industries. Next one is dyes. A number of dyes have been used to inhibit the bacterial growth, and basic dyes are more effective bactericides than acidic dyes. And acridine and triphenyl methane dyes are commonly used as antimicrobial agent. So dyes, number of dyes that have been used. Why number of dyes have been used? That have been used to inhibit bacterial growth. So number of dyes are used for inhibiting bacterial growth, and basic dyes that are more effective bactericides than acidic dyes. So basic dyes that are act as more effective or that have a more effective bactericides action than acidic dyes. Acridine and triphenyl methane dyes that are most widely used as antimicrobial agent. Next one is detergent and soaps. They are widely used as surface active agents, wetting agents and emulsifiers. So detergent and soaps that are used as surface active agent as well as wetting agent and emulsifier, while they are classified into four main groups such as surfactant or detergent that are divided into four groups: anionic detergent, cationic detergent, non-ionic detergent or a amphoteric detergent. Next one is the most important antibacterial agent are cationic surface active agent. Example is cetrimide and benzalkonium chloride. So detergent and soap are act as a surface active agent, wetting agent as well as that are act as a emulsifier. So that have a four class: anionic, cationic, non-ionic and amphoteric. The most important antibacterial agent that are cationic surface active agent. Cationic surface active agent examples is cetrimide and benzalkonium chloride. Soap and sodium lauryl sulfate are anionic compound and soaps that are prepared from a saturated fatty acids that are more effective against gram negative bacilli. So soap as well as SLS, that means sodium lauryl sulfate, that is a surface active agent, and that are anionic compound. SLS, that is the anionic compound. So soap that is prepared from saturated fatty acid that are more effective against gram negative bacilli, and while those prepared from unsaturated fatty acid that have a greater action against gram positive bacilli. If the soap that is prepared from saturated fatty acid that are effective against gram negative bacilli, if the soap that are prepared from unsaturated fatty acid that have the greater action against gram positive bacilli. And non-ionic detergent that are not ionized, and however these substances do not possess a significant antimicrobial activity. If non-ionic detergent are present, so that have not a significant antimicrobial activity. Amphoteric compound that have a detergent properties of anionic surfactant and that is combined with disinfectant properties of cationic surfactants. Example is Tego compound. So amphoteric compound that have some type of detergent properties of anionic and that is combined with disinfectant properties of cationic surfactants. Mode of action of disinfectants. First one is how disinfectants work. First one is mode of action is alteration of membrane permeability. So by altering membrane permeability, this disinfectant works properly. Next one is damage to the protein. Next one is rupture the cell membrane and disinfectant enter into the cell membrane. Next one is damage to the nucleic acid and disinfectant work properly. And last one is interfere with metabolic pathway. Factors that affecting disinfection. Various factors are affect the disinfection. First one is concentration of disinfectant, temperature, time of contact, pH of the environment, surface tension, formulation of disinfectant, chemical structure of disinfectant, type and number of microorganisms present, interfering substance in the environment, potentiation, synergism and antagonism of disinfectant. So we will discuss one by one. First one is concentration of disinfectant. So how much amount of concentration you are using for disinfection purpose, that is the one type of factor. The lethal effect of bacterial population, that is increased by increasing concentration of disinfectant. So if you are using higher concentration of disinfectant, they give the lethal effect to the bacterial population and that are most effective to kill the bacteria. However, the effectiveness that is generally related to the concentration exponentially, not linearly. So effectiveness of disinfectant or action that is generally related to concentration of disinfectant exponentially, but that are not linearly related. While there is a optimum concentration of phenol that is about 1%, that is sufficient for disinfectant activity or disinfection purpose. Beyond this concentration, disinfecting effectiveness becomes less. So if you are using less than the 1% concentration of or outside the 1% concentration of phenol that have a less effectiveness, the dilution coefficient that can be calculated from the following equation, n that n is equal to log T2 minus T1 divided by log C2 minus C1. So what is n? and that is the concentration exponent or a dilution coefficient for disinfectant, while T1, that is the dead time with disinfectant concentration, that is the C1, and T2, that is the death time with disinfectant concentration, C2. Next one is temperature. In temperature, the lethal effect on bacterial population that can be increased by increasing the temperature. So toxic effect of on the bacterial population or bacteria that are killed by increasing the temperature. If you are using higher temperature, so bacteria are easily or rapidly killed. The effect of temperature on bactericidal activity, which may be expressed quantitatively by means of temperature coefficient. So effect of temperature on bactericidal activity. So how bacteria that are killed by increasing the temperature, that are expressed quantitatively by temperature coefficient. And the temperature coefficient per degree that are rises in the temperature, and it is denoted by delta, and whereas per 100 degree centigrade rise in temperature that is expressed by delta 10 or Q10 value. So we will already discuss what is temperature coefficient. If the effect of temperature on bactericidal activity, which may be expressed quantitatively by means of temperature coefficient, and temperature coefficient per degree rises in temperature that is denoted by delta, whereas as per 100 degree centigrade rise in temperature that is act as a delta 10 or Q10 value. Delta 10 or Q10 is equal to time required to kill at T 0 degree temperature and divide by time required to kill at T plus 100 degree centigrade temperature. The value for Q10, temperature coefficient for phenol, that is about 4, which means that the over the 100 degree range used to determine the Q10, the activity will be increased by factor 4. So that is regarding temperature coefficient. If Q10 value or temperature coefficient for phenol that is 4, that means over the 100 degree centigrade range used to determine the Q10 value, activity will be increased by factor 4. So that is regarding temperature coefficient. If any query or doubts related to topic, please write your questions in comment box. Thank you.